There are moments in life when you feel the weight of the world pressing on your chest, when nothing seems to go your way, and every effort you make seems to fall short. In those moments, it's easy to believe that our happiness is dictated by the people around us, the events that unfold, or the material things we chase. Yet, what if happiness wasn't something to chase, but something we could create within ourselves? Aristotle once said, "Happiness depends upon ourselves." This simple yet profound truth reminds us that our inner peace and joy are not governed by external circumstances, but by our own choices and mindset. So, how do we begin to cultivate this happiness, especially in a world that often tells us it's something to be sought outside ourselves? Let's explore the story of Mia, a young woman who spent years searching for happiness in all the wrong places, only to discover that the key to her joy was never hidden at all. It was within her reach all along. Mia sat at her desk, staring at the same spreadsheet she had been working on for hours. It was just another day in the office, the fluorescent lights buzzing above her. At 28, she felt like her life was running on a treadmill, fast, exhausting, and ultimately going nowhere. She had the job, the friends, the apartment in the city, yet something was missing. Her phone buzzed with a notification. Another post from her childhood friend, Lily, showing off her latest vacation in Bali. Mia couldn't help but scroll through the pictures. Lily's life seemed perfect, adventurous, carefree, full of laughter. A deep sigh escaped Mia's lips as she scrolled further. "Why can't my life be like that?" she thought. It wasn't just Lily's vacation photos that left Mia feeling empty. It was everything. Mia had spent years pursuing the idea of happiness through external validation, through promotions, through social media, through comparing herself to others. And still, something inside her felt unfulfilled. She glanced at her reflection in the window. The woman staring back at her didn't seem like the vibrant, optimistic person she once was. Instead, there was a quiet resignation in her eyes. The thought came to her, maybe happiness isn't something I can find out there. Maybe I've been looking in the wrong places all along. The next morning, Mia arrived at work to an unexpected surprise. Her boss called her into the office and handed her a project that would involve working with a new client, one of the biggest contracts the company had secured in years. It was a huge opportunity, but Mia's stomach twisted at the thought. She wasn't sure she had it in her anymore. "What's going on with you, Mia?" her boss, Frank, asked with genuine concern. "You've been distracted lately. You've always been one of our best employees, but I feel like you're not here with us anymore." Mia was quiet for a moment. She wanted to say something, anything, to explain the emptiness she felt, but words failed her. The truth was, Mia didn't know why she felt so lost. She had everything she was supposed to want, and yet, none of it brought her the satisfaction she had expected. The void she felt inside wasn't something she could fill with accomplishments or things. Later that day, Mia sat on a park bench during her lunch break, watching people pass by. A group of children were playing soccer in the open space, their laughter ringing through the air. For a moment, Mia thought back to her own childhood, how carefree and joyful she had been, how small things like catching fireflies or playing with her dog had made her feel truly happy. But now, as an adult, she couldn't remember the last time she felt that way. Instead, everything felt like a checklist work. Meetings, social events, follow-ups. Was that all there was to life? The next day, Mia decided to take a break from the grind. She called in sick to work and spent the day in the city, wandering with no agenda. She visited the local museum, a place she hadn't been to in years. As she moved through the exhibits, Mia found herself drawn to a painting of a woman standing alone on a mountain peak, looking out over a vast landscape. Something in the painting spoke to her. The solitude, the stillness, the peace. Mia realized that she had been so focused on external achievements, on constantly doing, that she had forgotten how to simply be. She spent hours in the museum, reflecting on the stillness and finding a quiet comfort in being present with herself. That evening, Mia sat at a small cafe, sipping a cup of tea. She felt the weight of the world lift off her shoulders just a little. She didn't need to compare herself to Lily or anyone else. She didn't need to prove anything to anyone. For the first time in a long while, Mia felt an inkling of peace inside her. Happiness wasn't a destination or something to acquire. It was a state of mind she could choose. Over the next few weeks, Mia made small but meaningful changes. She began journaling her thoughts each morning, focusing on gratitude and personal growth rather than external validation. She made time for things that brought her joy. Simple things like reading a book in the park or cooking a new recipe. And slowly, she began to feel a shift. The external pressures, the comparisons, and the constant chase began to lose their grip on her. Mia realized that happiness was never something she had to chase after. It had always been a choice. She just had to let go of the belief that it could only be found in the approval of others or the next big milestone. The real test came when Mia was faced with a challenge at work, a client meeting that she had to lead. She had spent years struggling with self-doubt, fearing failure, and constantly questioning her abilities. But now, she stood before the team, her heart racing, and instead of trying to impress everyone with her perfection, she simply spoke from the heart. Sometimes, she said, we spend so much time chasing the perfect outcome that we forget to enjoy the journey. I believe that if we focus on doing our best, and not on the end result, the outcome will take care of itself. Her words, though simple, resonated with the team. The client was impressed not just with her expertise, but with the authenticity she brought to the table. Mia had found something more powerful than a perfect presentation. She had found confidence in herself, in her truth. Mia's life wasn't perfect, but it was now deeply fulfilling. She continued to excel at work, but no longer did she feel defined by her job or the opinions of others. She had learned that happiness wasn't a result of what she had or what others thought of her. It was about her ability to embrace herself fully, flaws and all. Her relationships flourished as well. She spent more time with her family, reconnecting with old friends, and even found time to nurture her creativity. Mia no longer sought happiness outside of herself, because she had learned that the key was within her all along. As she sat on her balcony one evening, watching the sunset, Mia smiled. She was no longer chasing happiness, it was already there, with her, all along. The story of Mia teaches us a profound truth. Happiness is not something that can be acquired or attained by external forces. It is something we must cultivate from within. For too long, we've been conditioned to believe that happiness is a prize, a destination, or an accomplishment that comes when we get it all right. We're taught that if we earn the promotion, buy the perfect house, travel to the right places, or get a certain number of social media likes, we'll finally feel complete and happy. But Mia's journey shows us that true happiness doesn't depend on these external markers. It depends on how we choose to view the world and ourselves. Happiness is not something to be chased. It is a mindset, a state of being that we can decide to embrace, no matter the circumstances. It's about cultivating gratitude for the present moment, choosing to see beauty even in the mundane, and learning to accept ourselves fully without judgment. The world around us will always be filled with ups and downs, with external pressures and challenges. But what Mia discovered is that the key to happiness lies in how we respond to these circumstances. When we stop seeking happiness in others' opinions, in material wealth, or in fleeting moments of success, we realize that happiness has always been available within us, like an untapped well. Just as Mia found her peace by letting go of the need for external validation, we too can find contentment by shifting our focus inward. It's a daily practice of choosing self-acceptance, mindfulness, and gratitude. The happiness we're searching for is not hidden in far-off places or distant dreams, it's right here, in the way we live and the way we choose to think about our lives. So, let me ask you, How often do you find yourself chasing happiness in places that don't truly fulfill you? Are you living in the present? Or are you waiting for the next milestone to finally give you the peace and joy you're seeking? Take a moment to reflect on your own journey. What small steps can you take today to shift your focus inward and begin cultivating happiness from within? The power to create the life you desire is already in your hands. Remember, happiness isn't a destination, it's a choice. Choose to be present, choose gratitude, and choose to embrace who you are right now. When you do, you might just find that the joy you've been looking for was always there, waiting for you to notice. If this story resonated with you, don't forget to like, comment, and share. Let's spread the message that true happiness is within our reach, and it's time we start embracing it.